Good evening, Trinidad and Tobago. It is Tuesday, 4th of July, 2017. We are a couple minutes early, and it is going to be an extended version of the show because we have a lot of issues to deal with tonight. First of all, let me say Happy Independence Day to the people of the United States of America, ironically, on the day that celebrates the triumph of freedom and liberty over tyranny. Trinidad and Tobago has demonstrated why we have a long way to go. And we have issues to deal with because tonight a young gentleman is sitting in a police station holding cell. Since Saturday, the law, the custom that allows them to hold him long since expired. A habeas corpus has been served. A habeas corpus that literally translates to mean bring the body has been ignored. They're having a hearing tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock. We are in dangerous water. But we're going to stick up in that. Because people have to assemble. Call them out. Tonight is serious business. Nobody run out of water. You know we needed the anthem. Spread the word. Let them know we're here. Call them out. Running, people cool, everything normal. 19,000 children today in a depression had their hopes dashed, were set on a treadmill where they were told that your entire life is going to be planned by what you do today, or well, whenever the exam was, and the results today, because there are only so many people that you could fit in the 5 or 6 prestige schools, and the bullshit continues. And I have asked before. I have asked of 5 ministers of education. The SEA exam is predicated on a finite number. It is statistically possible that all 20,000 children who do SEA get 100%. That is a statistical possibility. And what that means is, at some point, if that were to occur, 20,000 children all getting 100%. How would you know who goes in the prestige schools and who you're putting in the secondaries? Tell everybody. Since 1962, the disgusting and obscene People's National Movement have been convincing the grandchildren of Africa living in Trinidad and Tobago that they needed to be saved, that they needed to be protected, that there was an evil monster lurking to take advantage of them, to make monsters of their lives, to leave them living in squalor and destitute, to have their children bellies swollen with hunger. What the PNM didn't tell the grandchildren of Africa is what they really needed saving from was the PNM. Everything on the table now. Are we playing with human rights? We're going to mobilize 1.3 million Trinidadians. We'll have their say. The people will have their say. Still sharing, share it, eh? Seeing all the usual suspects. Come in. You can't catch the man who take a knife and cut that little innocent boy throat. You can't catch him. But you could put a man in jail and hold him there, and you can't find a law to charge him with yet. Can't find a law to charge them with yet. I have to wait. They tell me don't start till they come. Again, all kind of message. They say don't start till they reach. All you come in.
Your vote will decide our destiny.
Are you registered?
Your vote will decide what you want to be. Your vote can foretell our country's fate. But use it well before it's too late. If it is that who you're voting, fail beyond a doubt. When you're voting, vote them out. Vote them out. If it is the proven to be your full amount. When you're voting, vote them out. Vote them out. If it is the time is now that change should come about.
Time is now.
Just as how you vote them in. Vote them out. Register and vote them out. If they don't see,
Get out.
stain your finger and
Get out.
show them no mercy.
Pack your judgy bundle and get out.
With total skull.
Get out.
Say,
All man, yeah.
let's put our
Get out.
country together again.
That's where we at. Get out.
Put our power.
Get out.
Dominate your reign.
That is the next shirt we printing.
Put our country
Get out.
together again.
That is the next shirt we printing. Get out. Alright, let me go in. I'm trying to read what I have to read, but the comments, alright, I will make it happen. Mr. Philip, there's a message I get this morning. Well, actually, it wasn't this morning. It was about, let me see if I could be fair. I think it was about 2 o'clock. And somebody said, we were dealing with stuff all day. We're dealing with other critical issues. But people, a woman, she messaged, Mr. Philip, why haven't you said anything about the SCA results? And I responded to her, and then I just shared the whole response. Well, because I think the SCA is child abuse. That I believe no one thing other than the drug trade does so much to destroy so many lives, much of it corruptly. And rather than give any validation to a broken and insipid system, I stay quiet. For every one child relieved and congratulated, 100 sink into despair, thinking themselves foolish or incapable because they failed to memorize and regurgitate in a hustle between them and 20,000 other preteens fighting for a diminishing prize. How can that be the high point of our education system? The Progressive Empowerment Party pledges to abolish the abomination that is the SEA and to make all schools 10-year schools. The deliberate separation by names of college, convent, and secondary schools will be eradicated, streamlined, and all schools will be called schools. All schools will be zoned. All schools will be given the same benefits as the current prestige schools. All children will be given a grade point average to strive for, which will be examined at the end of every school term to test for personal development against the child's own progress. A national grade point average target will be set and a curriculum created to support it. And not only children would be examined by the GPA, but the teacher performance would be measured by the class average by term. Principals would be measured by the school average by term. And constituency school supervisors, this is something that we are creating. Health supervisor, public works supervisor, public utilities supervisor, security supervisor, and education supervisor to form a board of directors of all the things that you need to make a life. But the constituency school supervisor appointed to manage each constituency will be measured by the collective average of all the schools in their care. This will give the children something real and continuous to strive for and to monitor their own progress, while giving those in authority the ability to monitor the performance of the system. Rewards will be provided to the highest performing student nationally per term, as well as the highest performing teacher and school per term. But more importantly, rewards will also be provided for the best improved student, class, and school per term. In this way, all our children would benefit from the same advantages, and the system would also allow for teachers and parents to spot high achievers, to slipstream them to advanced classes, and to also identify those who may have learning difficulties caused by either physical or environmental concerns, so as to have those issues addressed. And those who are not academically inclined at all, but who may benefit from a different environment or discipline altogether, so as not to waste a child's valuable learning years, forcing all shapes to fit one whole. None of this is our imagining or design, but our reality is tried and proven throughout the world. Those countries where the vast majority of the children excel use this model. And Finland, the nation with the highest standard of education in the world, swears by it. Under the PEP, parents would be required to join the school's Parent-Teachers Association to oversee the development and management of their school, and to attend assessment meetings with the teachers each term to measure and monitor their child's progress. Under the PEP, the Ministry of Education would be responsible for the training of teachers, the management of the physical infrastructure, all schools and all school facilities, the management of the GPA grading system, the management of the curriculum, and ultimate responsibility for every child's development while in their care. All of that said, while I am happy for those who have survived or even thrived in this heinous system, I am aware of its potential for national destruction and look forward to the day when so much state-sponsored child abuse is no more than a footnote of a more unsophisticated time in our history. Now, I shared that today, and the public went crazy with that. I have a mail-out list with about 50,000 people. So when I sent it out, the responses was bravo, applause, and I'm thinking, I write this every year for the past 15 years. This is the first political promise I've ever made. This is the one thing I've been standing for. Every time there's an SEA, I write this. That we shouldn't have an SEA. That we are pitting our children against themselves and against their friends and create a frenzy and a mad exam system created to force everybody into a stampede. Oh God, I made Fatima. What does it mean? What does it mean to the children who make Bucarapo or Pleasantville Secondary? What does NAPS mean to the child who end up in a secondary school? What does it mean? And why aren't we wondering if for every presentation college, Holy Name and St. Joseph we applaud, we unleashing their future attackers, the people who have to go and come and rob them because we've left the vast majority of our children behind in an insipid and foolish display of a lack of vision, I want to call on Kamala Persad-Bissessar and Keith Rowley. Stop hiding behind your talking heads. Stand up and defend your foolishness. Because Rowley, you're Prime Minister now. You've been in the Parliament for 31 years. Kamala, you were the Minister of Education. And you are Prime Minister. And you are the Leader of Opposition now. Why aren't either of you challenging the bullshit that is the SCA? Why? Why? Lack of vision, lack of ideas, laziness, only care about office, buttering your own bread, blue light-itis, clinking glass with aristocracy, feeling like you're large and in charge while accomplishing F all. Why don't one of you stand? Tim Gopi Singh, Tim, stand up, defend this bullshit that masks the crooked and corrupt Education Facilities Company Limited, that printing books that no one reads and no one uses. It is contracts for the boys. Defend it. Defend the EFCL that just vacated a legitimate tender for multiples of millions of dollars, 20 and 30 times the cost and value to really do the work, and hand it as a sole select to Junior Sammy. This is what the education system is really about. And Kamala know that. Because when Junior Sammy have any party with Marshall and them, Kamala in that. And Rowley you in that. So miss we with all your bullshit. All your pontificating and posturing and coming to tell the people in high-sounding addresses to the nation. Miss we. You know what happened, Rowley? You know why nobody ain't taking you on? Because they're not interested in the bullshit anymore. And Kamala, people forget they have a UNC. I understand, correct me if I am wrong, that last evening, the chairman of an executive in the UNC resigned and said she's joining the Progressive Empowerment Party, that she didn't sign on for bullshit. And the whole nation looking for things to tell people, miss we with that. I'm loving that. I'm loving that. I'm loving it. The people waking up and they're not interested in any kind of bullshit at all. They're not interested. They're not interested. The powerful 1% buying up multi-million-dollar houses, real estate agents telling them, put in a company name so nobody ain't gonna know it's yours. Nobody asking nobody. If you was working for X amount of $1,000 a month, how you have X amount of $1 million in the bank? Nobody asking them questions, but we will. We will. Because Faris jumped out himself to say he want to go after gold teeth and gold chain. Faris, we want to go after people who really can explain the world. All them cloth store that makes so much money, they should have a ministry of cloth. Faris is years now. I seen my boy Andrew Gabriel and his lawyer quiet. You know why Andrew Gabriel quiet? Because Syrian in play. And I seen Andrew in court. Andrew suing me. Shut up. Don't call out my name. Well, brother, you in play now. And I cannot, and I'm asking my attorneys to do a freedom of information request to the Housing Development Corporation to find out what did Andrew Gabriel's wife Natalie do to qualify for them contracts, the multiples of millions of dollars. And Andrew neighbor Mikey Aboud, who owned Justice on Time, Amalgamated, and who have the contract for the ambulance. These two bullshit contracts that the whole nation don't need, suing me for defamation, for asking how you get the contract, brother, if the entire parliament says bullshit. How you have Justice on Time when the Prison Officers Association say, we don't need it, we didn't want it, we didn't ask for it, it come like a thief in the night. How you get it? Andrew Gabriel, brother, I tell him, you know, no matter what happened, brother, we will dance and we will dance. And Michael Kwamina, write everything I say down and go and read it for the judge. Go and read it for the judge. This is a nation where people who benefit from political patronage are going to have to answer now or under a Progressive Empowerment Party government. But come back to education, because I want to let them know, you know. I want to let them know. I want to let them know. We draining the swamp and we coming back for we money. I want all the people money back. I want to take the earrings off your wife, brother. Anything that you get that you didn't deserve, we want it back. Justify them contracts. Justify them contracts. I'm saying it again. Justify them public works contracts. That's all I get. Justify it. This is where the people of Trinidad and Tobago are now. They fed up. They fed up. And that is why Mario Sabga Aboud had to bend down low and apologize. Because he'd end up running all 120 stores himself. He'd have his whole family turning burger and pouring coffee. I never see Trinidadians get so vexed. I try to stop them and you know what I say? Boy Phil, leave that, yes? He do his own bullshit. Leave that. Leave it alone. He do his own bullshit. He put himself there. Have the whole nation asking. 20 million Chinese restaurants and roti shop in the country selling roti and Chinese food day and night, and them ain't the 1%. Them ain't powerful. How your restaurant make you powerful? You sure it's burgers alone you're selling, brother? You sure it's coffee alone you're pouring? In my mind, the nation should still boycott your ass. And I really think about it, and I accept that apology too soon. All you're full of shit. And people like you have destroyed this country. And the people of Trinidad and Tobago, I am sorry for stepping in your way when you found your power. And young Mr. Ian Smart for standing up outside rituals and leading that boycott. I applaud you, because Mario Sabga Aboud opened his mouth and talk a crocus bag of ass. And he must never forget that. I tell you, make a grand gesture, beg for their forgiveness. Beg for the people's forgiveness. Beg. But somebody just right no turning back now, and it's a fact. We in for a penny, we in for £100, brother. We come in. We come in. You see, $3 trillion was stolen from this country. $3 trillion. Kamala stole $1 billion. Well, she didn't steal, but she misdirected into the Cuba hospital that could have built 20,000 houses for her supporters. So all the people who live in all them wood shack and catching the ass that I went to give supplies to for the flood, Kamala leave all you there, isolated and marooned. Kamala leave you there. Because the Cuba hospital could have built 20,000 houses. And Keith Rowley, you're a nasty man. Because Taruba Stadium, that Brian Lara sanitized for you, that could have built 20,000 houses, brother. That could have built 20,000 houses. In 1 3-mile run of highway, we have the indecency and the obscenity of the Cuba hospital and the Taruba Stadium. 2 wasteful, corrupt structures that we will never need and never properly use, that we will never get a return on investment, that have wasted the people's money to enrich friends and family and financiers of those 2 corrupt and cancerous political parties. And I am telling Trinidad and Tobago, I am telling my brothers and sisters in Morva, Beetham, Laventille and Silots, Barrackpore, Pinal, listen to me. If these 2 parties was ever going to do anything for you, they'd have done it already. 55 years have gone. How you feel? 55 years. I could be the biggest jackass in the world. Me. Why? Because I have decided this is what I am doing with my life. So now, I have committed. There is a commitment. And we will discuss things tonight, you know. We are going to go into issues tonight about the judiciary and the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service. The people of Trinidad and Tobago are going to be given information that will empower them. It is time that your vote, your labor, and your consumption worked together for you. Your vote, your labor, and your consumption. You see, if all you stop drinking Cokes closed down. Pepsi. If all you stop drinking SM Jalil products, SM Jalil closed down. If I'm telling you your power, I call it names. If all you stop eating KFC, KFC closed down. For the people who thinking, well, I can't drink rituals, I go drink Starbucks, drink none. Make your coffee home. Or when they close down, let small Trini business jump up in their place and give them the business. I show you power. And it is time now. It is time because you see, we've created a system where a political party could use race to get into power, and a political party could use race to abuse people, but you can't call out the political party for race because they want that to be against the law. What madness is this? What madness is this? So Andrew Gabriel could cozy up to the UNC and the PNM. Whoever in power, Andrew Gabriel getting contracts, you know. Whoever in power, Andrew Gabriel making millions. And Andrew Gabriel lawyer trying to tell me that his little brokerage firm could compete with for terms and rates with the massive insurance giants to justify how they have their contracts. But you could cozy up, and you're asking me, and you know what? Gloves off. You cozy up with them two governments to make sure, with them two parties to make sure that you're eating nice, you're eating well, and but we can't ask you how you get the contracts. Based on what? Miss me with that bullshit, brother. Miss me with that. Miss me. And hear what? I understand. I understand the lodge game, the behind the scenes game, the backroom boys game, and are coming through the system as a living example to the rest of Trinidad and Tobago. I don't care if I lost, Trinidad will see what corruption, how the system is broken and works against the people. All I am doing is asking, how will you get them contracts, brother? Who values it? Who values it? Who values Rohanson and bullshit on the port? Who values that? That is now twice the price. $350,000 a day. $350,000 a day. When the people who read and ready that vote these jackasses into power, hungry. They're so hungry. They're so desperate. I watch people, and I talked last night about the guy in the Muslim garb and about gangs in this country and the violence that's taking place. And it is the people that have stolen the people's money. It is all of these cozy up to government and get contracts and take money. It is them that have left the people with no recourse. You see, like your children, these children want to eat and have a good life too. And you've left them no recourse but to make themselves available to the same gangs and the same organizations that inflicting horror on the nation, because they have no options. They have no options. They can go and turn a burger in Pizza Boys for minimum wage and never own nothing. Never own nothing. Buy fake brands in chain stores. All you think we stupid, boy. Why did you all think that never a champion was going to rise up? What foolishness led you all to believe that the people were never going to have an opportunity to unite? That is the only purpose of the Progressive Empowerment Party. To give the people a platform to unite, to take back their government, to demand proper systems be put in place. So that when we say the $25 billion that was spent bailing out Clico should have come with strings attached, that should have seen Dupre and the rest of that bandit clan jailed, prosecuted, charged, and jailed. And that $25 billion should have never come interest-free. Because for the 8 years that has been floating out there, we've lost $20 billion in interest that we could have made in other investments. Each $1 billion could have bought 20,000 houses. So 20 billion. Do the math. Do the math. It's our reality. This is our truth. This is our truth. And come back to the SEA. Because 19,500 children are going to come out of that struggling, hoping for a football contract, a basketball contract, hoping to discover a medicine. I mean, you've left these people with nothing but magic. Bounce ball, bat ball, hit ball, kick ball, run away. You've left them nothing. The system is broken and it's bullshit. And we cannot continue with that. The system that I have outlined, that as an education system that I have outlined, would fix all of the problems. I didn't add certain things. By zoning the school, all the morning traffic done. You know that? Because when school closed, traffic done. That having all the children grow together in a school zone in the community where the parents own their homes means they grow up in a community where other children are living with parents who own their homes and go to school together and come of age, teenagers in schools together, living in communities together, knitted together as people in a community. This is where culture thrives. This is where community thrives. This is where people become people again. And it's not only for Goodwood Park, it's for Beetham too. It's for Barrackpore, for Faizabad. I tell you that this is a disgusting and obscene nation, a testimony to all that is wrong when you never had a caring government elected to office. Never. And we are aware of all the bullshit. Imagine you have a government that could tell you 57 of our people have been trafficked. But they can't tell you how they know that. They can't tell you who. They can't tell you where. They can't tell you what is being done. So they come in the parliament and bullshit you. 57. Copy and paste media. 57. No questions asked. They say it, we write it down. And without social media, you will read that in the Express and say, well, this is all I'm supposed to think. I'm not allowed to think any more than this. Because I don't live in a real country. I live in do what you like land, the Royal Imperial Majestic Banana Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. I live here. So in the Royal Imperial Majestic Banana Republic of do what the hell you like land, 57 people trafficked is all the information that I need. So you have a government that is able and capable. Listen, this is madness. And you see that little boy that they put in that jail cell and leave him till Saturday. And all of a sudden, Maxi Coffee and his Marxist, Leninist, racist public administration style that's sending out these bullshit WhatsApps about don't study that in politics and don't read it, don't forward it, they'll come and jail you. First of all, that is bullshit. Second of all, it is pure bullshit. Third of all, this boy that they put in jail since Saturday going to make so much money. They have lawyers lining up to sue them for malicious prosecution and false imprisonment. But stick a pin in that. That is what we're coming at. You have a government that is able, and somebody asked, the copy and paste media did not ask this question. They didn't. I want you to remember what I'm about to tell you. The Guardian, the Express, CNC3, TV6, Newsday, CTV, and all the bullshit artists that work for them, that call themselves, journalists, did not ask this question. We were told there are 30,000 guns in circulation, that they are valued $100 million. And one of my supporters asked one question that the copy and paste media did not ask. If these guns were smuggled into the country, who did the stock check? How do you know it is 30,000 guns? How do you know their value? How? You lock up a boy for saying things less than what the Calypsonians they say. If talk was to make jail, Croco was supposed to be living in jail. Keith Rowley, Edmund Dillon, on behalf of the people of Trinidad and Tobago, how do you know that there are 30,000 guns in Trinidad? How do you know what type of guns? How do you know how much they're worth? How do you know that it is jet skis and what else is the other thing you say? Some nonsense. How they come in the country. How do you know this? You cannot interdict them. You cannot arrest the people who have them. You cannot secure the nation and stop them. But you know name, rank, and serial number. How? How? We're sticking a pin there. Because we're going to deal with these serious issues now. I'll give all you a little break. And I'll give you a song to sing. Because what we're about to discuss depends on the pool bullshit. Yeah? Deep end of the pool bullshit.
If for 30 years you voting them in, and there's only tears as soon as they win,
Call your friends in.
they give you big words,
They want to hear what we are about to discuss.
promising you
Trust
roads
me.
and giving potholes. If they are the reason why the economy could sprout, when you're voting, vote them out, vote them out. If it is the passing laws that them alone can flout, when you're voting, vote them out, vote them out. If it is the building eyesores, east, west, north and south, they say where you vote them in, vote them out. Register and vote them out. Totally vote them out. Stick your finger and vote them out. Rescue the country, vote them out. Vote them out with tempo. They have we in faith.
Danny,
Let's put our country
you ready to be interviewed?
together again. Vote them out with calypso and joyous refrain.
Do not answer anything that you think will compromise.
Together again.
Right. I have on the phone with me Vanny. Vanny is the girlfriend of Ryan Mohammed, who is still in San Fernando police station in a holding cell. He's been there since Saturday. And Vanny is here with us tonight. I want to ask Vanny some questions. Now, I've told her she doesn't have to answer any questions that she thinks will compromise any case that may be continuing. Good evening, Vanny.
Good evening.
You could say good evening to all of our listeners on social media.
Good evening, everyone.
Vanny,
Yes.
how is Rayad tonight?
He's doing as good as he could be. You know, he's worried. He's getting a little frustrated. He's sad. He's crying most of the time. You know, so it's hard for everybody.
The situation as it is now, has he been charged with anything as yet?
As far as we know through our lawyer, he has not been charged with anything, nor has he been released.
Who is your attorney?
Mr. Subhas Pandey.
Today, was the writ of habeas corpus served?
Yes, it was done at lunchtime today.
And was he immediately taken out of the holding cell and taken to the court?
No, he was not.
What was the response to the writ of habeas corpus?
They said the time that it was filed that the judge didn't have time to read the case in its entirety, and the case is adjourned until 10 o'clock tomorrow morning.
So tomorrow morning they are going to do the urgent bring the body, which habeas corpus means?
Yes.
Tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock.
Yes.
I want you to promise me that as soon as he is freed, regardless of whatever they charge him with, that you will call me so that we could go live and that he could speak to the people of Trinidad and Tobago and tell us how he feels.
I will. I will definitely let you know.
I want you to let him know that he has support, that we believe that a lot of what is being done here is political, and that we are going to stand by him while he sues the state for the outcome of this matter.
Thank you very much for everyone's support.
Is there anything that you would like to add?
Just keep him in your prayers. Everyone, please, thank you for all the support. I do tell him that he has a lot of support, although there is some negativity in it. With some people, I tell him every day he has a lot of support, a lot of people on his side, and that is what is keeping him going right now, knowing that he has people on his side.
You okay? How you making out?
Well, I want him home, so I'm not really doing too well, you know. It's hard. It's really, really hard not having him home. So.
But you think that, and Subhash Pandey telling you that by tomorrow he should be?
Yes, he's hoping for the best. He's hoping for the best tomorrow. He said by tomorrow we should have an answer as to if they're going to charge him or if they're going to release him.
Have you all organized yourselves to be in a position to make bail? Has Subhash Pandey speculated on what kind of charges he could be charged with so that he could tell you what kind of numbers you're looking at to make bail?
He has explained the worst case scenario and the best case scenario, which is he's going to be released. I can't divulge exactly what it is he explained to us, but he did explain in entirety the worst case scenario for us and the best case scenario for us.
Okay. How is his family doing? How's your family doing?
Everyone's really stressed. Very worried. You know, we don't need him to come home. His mom, his dad, his brother, my parents, we're all there from like 6:30, 7 in the morning at the station and not leaving there late in the night, hoping and praying that, you know, he will come home. And we have been like that since today.
Pani?
Yes?
Like the children who went through the SCA exam, like everybody else that has to deal with any part of the broken system that is Trinidad and Tobago, you all are as much victims here as anybody else. And I want to tell you something. The Progressive Empowerment Party exists for one purpose. And that is to fix this country for all of the people. And we know that our people have rights, and we will stand to make sure that nobody abuses his rights. Let him know that first, okay?
I will. Thank you.
Thanks a lot. Have a good evening.
Okay, thanks.
Right. To the police officers who have detained this young man since Saturday, what would you have done if he was based in New York City and posted that? If he was based in Germany and posted that? To the police officers who have detained Ryan Mohammed for questioning and inquiries, what would you have done if he was based in London and posted that? What would you have done if he was based in Florida or Guyana or Barbados? What would you have done regardless of the hissy fit Rowley has been, I have heard, he is throwing when you realize that you have no jurisdiction over Facebook and social media, and that there are no laws, local or foreign, to wield in this matter? What would you have done? What would you have done if the next day all of Facebook, everybody's status was the same status? What would you have done? What? Arrest the world? What would you have done? Now that you have given this boy grounds to sue the state for illegal detention and malicious prosecution, what? If his words were wrong, why isn't Shelley Das and Samson Nanton of Guardian Media sitting in the same cell with him for using his words over and over to sell Guardian carried wrapper. What? How come? How come? Have we politicized the matter? Is this an overreach to try to prove a point that I am telling you is going to backfire? What if he had wished the vengeance of God on the Prime Minister? What if he had called for God to strike him down? Would you have arrested him, charged him for manipulating the hand of God? Where's the line? What exactly was the threat? His obscene and badly worded admonition. Because what this boy was trying to say was, who feel it no? Go and lock up Buju Banton. Buju Banton sing that. Who feel it no? Because you see, it was an expression of outrage felt by an entire nation because of the disgusting and heartless response to that tragedy by the Prime Minister. Are any of you familiar with the terms extenuating circumstances and provocation? Because I tell you, the Prime Minister provoked the nation with his bullshit. You want me ban knives? This jackass, this mocking pretender, this squatter that ride on people back, red and ready, my half-red ass, brother. Do you still believe, after watching Mario Sabga Abood brought low and humbled and made to apologize to the citizens of the Republic, that the power to abuse power is real power? What if you end up squared off against a political directorate that has no interest in public office holders who abuse their position and authority? What then? What of your sworn oath to dispense justice without fear or favor, malice or ill will? What of that? I put to the people of Trinidad and Tobago tonight that a progressive empowerment party will not only undo and redo the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service, but to one that truly protects and serves, but would also scrap and repeal all vague and loosely written laws and enact into clear governing statutes to protect the people from abuse and from each other. Chief among those laws would be an amendment to the Constitution, an irrevocable Citizens' Bill of Rights that would prevent any office holder or any kind from that day, of any kind from that day forward, from denying any citizen their constitutional rights, or they would end up in the same cell and eat the same bread that they get the devil to need. We, the people, must stand against all forms of injustice. We must stand against the overt politicization of government service and public service. This issue is going to have far-reaching implications for everyone involved. And I ask you to pay attention to everything that happens from here. All who deny this young man his natural and constitutionally enshrined rights should be removed from public office, investigated, and where found to be complicit, prosecuted and charged. This must be a nation where the rule of law is evenly applied. The symbol of justice is blindfolded for a reason, as she is supposed to dispense justice even-handedly and blind to persons or personalities. We need to return to the day this nation was created and start it over. This is why I'm asking you for 41 seats. I'm not joking. Don't give me 30. I'll dissolve the parliament the next day. I'm not going to argue with jackasses in the parliament. I'm not. I'm going to represent the people, fix all the bullshit and get out of Dodge. I give him 5 years. That's all I'm interested in doing. 1 term. We must undo and redo the administration of justice. How prosecution is done. How people are incarcerated. How we apply executions. Everything must be clear. We cannot do that without you. But we promise you, if you give us a mandate with 41 seats, this republic will become true to its definition. A republic is a nation ruled by law. That is the end of that. But I want to ask a question. He wrote a post on Facebook. I say they have no jurisdiction. And I want the lawyers to determine that. Stick a pin in that. But he wrote a post on Facebook. You have him Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. How does it take so long to find out if he broke a law? How does it take so long? How does it take so long to find out if he broke a law? If he broke a law, charge him. Give him station bail. Charge him, let him appear before a magistrate the next morning. Charge him, let him go before a justice of the peace. Charge him, let him go before a judge in chambers. But don't just hold the boy and put him in a cell. What madness is that? What is that? Who gave who that authority in this country? Eric Williams? The Queen? Who gave who that power? That have to be undone. That must never, ever, ever be so. Somebody spoke to me tonight in the gym. He works for national security. A very high level. He said to me, Philip, you know what I think? I think officers like the Attorney General and the Minister of National Security should not be political. I said, that's not the issue, you know. The issue is, what you really want is systems that work. So I could be the most political jackass in the world. That in my job, I am guided by rules, regulations, that if I run afoul of them, I could be fired. But in Do What You Like land, in the Royal Imperial Majestic Banana Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, the Chief Justice there for as long as he want. And you can't do nothing. That's what he say. The whole law fraternity can't do nothing. Look at that. This is a mad country. This is a mad, insane country. We do not have all of that, all the systems. All the judges and lawyers walking through tongue once a year or twice a year. How much of a time they do it? All the bullshit, the ceremonial opening of Parliament and the Senate and all that nonsense. All of it is circus. It serves us no purpose. It does nothing of value. How long must this go on? How many people watching this video could end up dead from a random act of murder in a nation where the Prime Minister and the Minister of National Security has a stock check and a value of the illegal arms circulating in society, but have no idea how to remove them from circulation? Work that over in your mind. Work that over in your mind. I have some stuff you need to know. Because we didn't invent functionality. I want you to hear this. Miranda versus Arizona, decided by the Supreme Court, the United States Supreme Court in 1966, by a 5-4 majority, held that the Constitution's Fifth Amendment prohibition against self-incrimination applied to an individual in police custody or deprived of his freedom of action in any significant way. In order to safeguard this right, the court ruled that prior to being questioned, suspects have to be informed of their right to remain silent, that anything they say can be used against them in court, that they have the right to the presence of an attorney, and that if they cannot afford an attorney, one will be appointed prior to any questioning, if they so desire. A statement obtained without compliance with these rules is inadmissible, as is the fact that a defendant has chosen to exercise the right to remain silent in the face of accusation. Although waiver of these rights is possible, the court emphasized that a heavy burden rests on the government to prove that such a waiver has actually taken place. The court based its holding on an extensive review of actual police interrogation practices. In addition to outright physical abuse and the third degree, the police had frequently obtained confessions through a variety of ploys and subterfuges, many of which were codified in police manuals and texts. The courts found that the very act, listen to this, I put in the public space. The court found, this is the United States Supreme Court, when they make a judgment, it changes law. The court found that the very fact of custodial interrogation exacts a heavy toll on individual liberty and trades on the weakness of individuals. Hailed by civil libertarians as a victory for individual rights, the decision was attacked by conservatives, those who benefit from the power structure, as undermining the efforts of law enforcement. The court held that there can be no doubt, without proper safeguards, the process of in-custody interrogation of persons suspected or accused of crime contains inherently compelling pressure which work to undermine the individual's will to resist and to compel him to speak where he would otherwise do so freely. In other words, when you deny somebody of their liberty, you put them under pressure to work against themselves. That's what happens. I asked our research officer, you see her? You see her in the post, in the thread, as Misty Autumn Day. I asked her to do some research for us. And I asked her to do research. I'm calling her now. I hope I get her. I asked her to do some research for us. Yes, ma'am, you are live as discussed.
Good night, everybody, all viewers.
The question I want to ask is this. In your research, did you find any statutes or laws under which this gentleman, Ryan Mohammed, could be charged?
No, I didn't. I also came across quite a few other things that I didn't even know. For instance, was a warrant issued for his arrest? Apparently, police cannot just arrest a man. Powers of arrest are given to the police without a warrant if they are on the scene of an illegal act happening, or a misdemeanor, or anything that is going on. For them to be able to arrest someone without a warrant, they have to be on the scene. Once it is after the fact, they must have a warrant. And if they did have a warrant, because I don't know the answers to these questions, if they did have a warrant, on what basis was the warrant issued?
Well, obviously, because the question I want to ask, you can't issue a warrant to ask questions. If you have a warrant, you believe that a crime was committed. Why wasn't he charged with that crime?
Correct. So there are a lot of things that went wrong with this whole thing, and because Trinidadians are so laid back and they don't stay up to date with what their rights are, a lot of wrong things happen, and nobody questions them because it's been happening over the years.
I want to ask you a question.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that the police overstepped their authority here?
Well, I am not in a position to answer that.
Do you think that the length of time that he was kept detained
Definitely
exceeds their right?
The Constitution speaks to what happens from the time of an arrest to the time someone is being charged.
Tell us what that is.
Specifically.
What is that process?
They are supposed to be promptly brought before a magistrate. They didn't give a length of time in that particular in the Constitution, but under common law they have it as 48 hours, and there are extenuating circumstances which can go beyond 48 hours, but this does not under any circumstances.
For a matter where you detain a man for questioning for a Facebook post?
There is nothing in any of our laws that speak to that at any level.
I want to ask you a question.
There is nothing for inciting violence. There is nothing for threats. This is not even by no stretch of the imagination. Can this be considered a threat? A threat is a statement of intention.
Contains an implicit statement of intention. I was told that by a senior attorney today.
Correct.
Nothing about this man's statement was implicit or threatening in any way.
And incite is to encourage or to stir up. Again, does not apply. Right? This is a wish, at best. I don't even know what to call it. You know, it's Trinidadian old talk. Right? And there is nothing in any of our laws that can be applied in this case. But I saw my feed just went blank. But just before it went, I saw someone on the feed saying that an arrest was that the guy has been charged. But I didn't get to see what it was. So I don't know if you could see it on your on your feed.
I will check and see if anything. You continue, because I will check. Express would have it if that is true.
All right. Now, I have gone through the Summary Offences Act in its entirety. I've gone through the Indictable Act.
As one of those two. If you're going to be charged, it's either summary offences or indictable offences.
Correct.
And an indictable offence requires the Director of Public Prosecutions.
Correct.
So this could only be, unless the DPP hands down a judgment, but I understand they're talking with some cybercrime division. Now, we don't have a cybercrime law, but they have a cybercrime division. So they are using existing laws. I remember this attorney talking on the news, and he said that there are existing laws. The issue that arises here for me is when you read Facebook, Facebook is based not in Trinidad and Tobago. You go to Facebook to read what's on Facebook. Facebook doesn't come to you. And I want them to test jurisdiction, but stick a pin in that. If Riyadh Ryan Mohammed was in New York City and posted that, what would they have done?
Well, exactly, but there are no cybercrime laws. I don't care who says so. What they have on the books is some computer laws, which I have gone through as well, and those are strictly about somebody accessing somebody's computer or giving out passwords, things like that nature. Nothing to do with somebody making a post. Nothing whatsoever. I went through those laws as well.
So what?
I have read about 4 or 5 different sets of laws that we have on our books. There is nothing. Which is why I keep asking, what is the charge? If I could see what the charge is, then I could see how it relates to what
I don't know who the person is who posted on the thread that he's been charged. Vanny, his girlfriend, who was there, was just on live with us. She said he's not been charged. So that could just be misinformation in the public space. But the reality that we have to address here is what they do from here will determine what happens on the political hustings and in the Dimash Grand show. Because nothing he said is different to when Basdeo Pandey said, look in the mirror, when he lost in 2007 to Winston Dukaran, when they rape your wife and your sister and your daughter and your mother, blame Winston Dukaran and the corpse. Remember that statement?
Correct.
When
Correct.
Fitzgerald
We
Hines,
could cite a million, like I said, Trinidad Old Talk. We could cite a million examples from the top go right back down. You know, it's Trinidad Old Talk, and there is nothing that can be applied in this case. Furthermore, they have infringed on his constitutional rights.
stick up in for a
by
second.
keeping him so long.
Stick up in for a second. I want to ask you something. Going forward from here, every attorney that I have spoken to, and for the day I have spoken to so many lawyers, and everybody says the one word that is missing from this entire matter is intent.
Correct.
And
Which
that
is
any,
what I said.
and that
Said
any,
it has to be intent.
somebody is
I lost
saying,
you, Philip.
somebody, you hear me?
I'm not hearing you again. Sorry.
Somebody is saying that Akash Samaru is posting that he was charged with sending a threatening message. What is sending a threatening message?
The word threat cannot be put in there at all. At all. There is nothing threatening about what he put. He did not send a threat. There must be intent. Must be intent in a threat. Intention to commit an act. There was nothing like that.
I am reading an article in the Trinidad Express by Dana Sitahal, published on June 25th, 2011. Now, there was the issue of Sasha Mohammed when she was Kamala's advisor. Dana said, under this law, a person who is guilty of harassment is liable to a fine of $2,000 and 6 months imprisonment. Section 30A states, a person who pursues a course of conduct which amounts to harassment of another, which he know or to reasonably know amounts to harassment. A course of conduct simply involves at least 2 incidents of harassment. None of that took place here.
I tell you, I went and perused those laws and look and look and look. Nothing. I can't come up with anything that can be applied to this charge. So if they say he sent a threatening message, who did the message go to? What is the threat? You know, it's just Trinidad Old Talk.
You have anything else you want to add? I want to call Vanny back and see if this is true.
No, we should hear from her as well. Trinidad and Tobago, we need to get together on this. We can't be allowing the police to make a police state of us. That's where Venezuela is ending up, where North Korea ends up. We cannot allow the police to be acting ultra-virus, is the term?
That's the term.
in any situation. You all need to take these things seriously.
Thanks a lot for that.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Face, that is what I want you. The mirror and look at yourself. Look at your face. That is what I want you to do. And then I want you to bow your head in confession and cry. Cry to yourself that you are responsible because you voted for the PNM and or the corpse, or that you did not vote at all. Winston Ducaran, not all the tears and all thy woes and all thy regrets shall wash away 1 inch of what you have done to yourself and to your country. Shame on you. Shame on you and the corpse. And to my people, I say stand tall.
That was Basdio Pandey, broadcast live on media, when he said, when they rape your mother and your sister, accusing the PNM supporters. But then Fitzgerald Hines, I'll find it and read it for you. Can you hear this one? I'll tell you what Fitzgerald Hines had to say. Because this is important. And all of this have to be out in the public now. Because we need to determine if we really live in a banana republic where people could do what they want. Basdio Pandey said verbatim. This is actually an article Jai Parasram published called verbatim. I want to say to every one of you who voted for corpse, every time one of your family or friends is murdered, kidnapped, beaten, robbed, and raped, I want you to go in front of a mirror and look at yourself. And I want you to confess to yourself, because you are responsible, because you voted PNM, or you voted COP, or you did not vote at all. That is Basdio Pandey. That's Basdio Pandey. Fitzgerald Hines. I said to my colleagues as a younger parliamentarian then, I said, the UNC is badly wounded. We need to finish them out. Kill them dead. I want you to understand that on November 28th, you have the opportunity to drive a PNM Balize deep into the hearts of the wicked UNC vampires. Take a stake with a Balize on top and drive it deep within their heart and finish them off once and for all. Now, my Jesus Lord. Somebody tell me, Philip, you need a fork with wings for a flying fork. And I agree. That's intent. That is intent. Kill them. That's what the man said. Fitzgerald Hines in the parliament today. Why wasn't he investigated and detained? Why? Why? But you see, a lot of this is to prevent things like this. April 25th, 2017, Mr. Edwin Gooding, Chairperson, Board of Directors, Public Transport Service Corporation, Railway Building, PO Box 391, South Key, Port of Spain. Dear Mr. Gooding, contracts for service. Reference is made to the subject, particularly to contracts for services entered into by the Public Transport Service Corporation, hereinafter referred to as the PTSC, and the following contractors: Allied Security Limited, provision of security services at PTSC's Port of Spain depot; Elida Management, Services for One-Day Financial Symposium, HR Technologies, Industrial Relations Services, Christopher Lewis, Development of PTSC's Strategic Plan 2017 to 2019. I want you to listen to what I'm about to read, because it's either we woke up in Alice's Wonderland. Having reviewed the material forwarded in respect to the above mentioned contracts, it is apparent that there were some shortcomings in the procurement process exercise that led to the award of said contracts. Some of those were as follows. I need to take a break to read a message, because it's from one of the attorneys, and it's confirmed that he was just charged. Trying to find out with what. But now he's eligible to bail. Tracy Shepard just sent me a picture of a fork with wings. Thank you, Tracy. I'm waiting on Kent Samlal, attorney at law, who is providing me with some information now as to the actual charge. And I'm going to wait on that. I'm going back to what I'm telling you and distracting us from. Because you need to hear these things that are going on in your country, that being done with your money, in your name. Sending a threatening message by phone. I'm going to tell him thanks. I'm asking if he wants to be interviewed. See what he says. Because if he takes the interview, you get some actual legal information as to what this is. He's at prayers. He's at prayers, and I have to tell him understood. Right. So I will get the update from the attorneys, and I will give it to you as to what. But we know he's been charged. He's been charged with sending a threatening message by phone. You remember what I was just reading, right? Having reviewed the material forwarded with respect to the above mentioned contracts, I'd have to start over from the top, right? It is apparent that there were some shortcomings in the procurement process exercise that led to the award of said contracts. Some were as follows. The circumstances surrounding the decision to request proposals from the aforementioned entities. It appears that the documentation that direct requests were made as opposed to a tender process. This is a jailable offense. There is a tender process to keep public officials from taking public funds and doing with it as they please. I want to read that to you again. The circumstances surrounding the decision to request proposals from the aforementioned entities. It appears from the documentation that direct requests were made as opposed to a tender process. Justification for the sole select of these entities is absent, which is of concern. 2. The lack of terms of reference documents stipulating the specificities of the consultancy services required. 3. The absence of formal contract documents. Now here is where we go straight down the rabbit hole. Despite the above issues, PTSC has determined that the contractors have provided the requisite services, and having regard to PTSC's instructions, it may be difficult to have these arrangements set aside on the grounds of illegality. we are being raped by pen and paper. It is illegal, but they can't set it aside. In light of this, the contractors should be paid for their outputs once the board and management are satisfied with the quality of the same. PTSA may, however, be in a position to negotiate the fees owing to the aforementioned procurement issues, and I would suggest that this be attempted. Should you require any additional information, feel free to contact Mrs. Nadia James Reyes, Director, Legal Services, Ministry of the Attorney General, Legal Affairs. Signed, yours sincerely, Stuart R. Young, MP. Stuarty boy. Stuart Young, Officer of the Court, Attorney at Law, sworn Member of Parliament, Minister in the Office of the Attorney General, just put his signature to a document that says, even though it is illegal, pay them. And we arguing over bullshit. While all of this, and this is just the stuff that gets sent to me. We have no idea what else is going on. We will only know when we get into office. We will only know. And it is time.
Yeah. Revelation.
Because the children come in to take back the power of the word in the conscious styling. Giving you for a brand new morning. The power of the word in the rap so styling. Rocking the roots of the vampire.
So, a gentleman made a post on Facebook in his despair and frustration. And he sat in a jail cell. Uneducated. Didn't know he was breaking the law. Sat in a jail cell. And is now charged. Stuart Young, who by his signature admitted that it was illegal for them to take public money and spend it without a legal tender to ensure that it is not himself to himself, to ensure that the state is not being set upon by a political directorate feeding in a frenzy on public funds. Him, Stuart Young, who knows they were breaking the law, put his signature as an officer of the court, as an attorney at law, as a sworn member of this nation's parliament, and a minister of government in the Attorney General's office, signed his signature saying, even though it is illegal, pay them. Pay them. A man could make a 4 days, 5 days jail for talk.
Talk it all, you pretender. Talk it all, you bloody deceiver. Talk it all, you servant master. Talk
Now that he is charged, there's a habeas corpus hearing tomorrow at 10. We'll find out what happens then, and his lawyers will handle the matter from here. He's entitled to bail, I'm sure, and we see where it goes from here. But I hope, after the resolution of this matter, he sues the state. We're going to wait and see. But right now, the people's response, I tell you, believe in one thing: the Constitution of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. Believe in the Constitution of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. The Constitution of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, we are going back to that. We are going back to that document. When you elect the Progressive Empowerment Party in the office, we are going back to the Constitution of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, and we're going to undo and redo so that things will work and that systems will be put in place. We have more law than we need, not many that we could use. You have a Prime Minister who is calling out the Integrity Commission, calling them all kind of names. The same Prime Minister who sat with a former chairman of the Integrity Commission to conspire when he was opposition leader to bring down a certain government, because that is what Emailgate tried to do. That's what Emailgate tried to do. He said he was holding a document that said that the government of the day was going to kill media workers, and he held it close for 6 months. So much bullshit. This is our reality, and you cannot get overwhelmed. You must get ready. You must join the party, you must register to vote, and you must be ready. So when they come to you with their foolishness, do not listen to them. Because you know all the ways that the education system could fix. And you know all the ways the healthcare system could fix. And you know where the money could come from to help you get a house. And you know all the ways to stop the drug trade into this country and to get the guns off the street. You know it now. They can't lie to you. You know now. You know now that if they wanted, education could be functional, healthcare could be functional, we could be saving money. They could cancel all those unnecessary contracts, shut down all those unnecessary state companies and state boards, save money, bring us down to the 11 cabinet ministers. That is all we need. Every other cabinet minister after that is a waste of millions of dollars every single year. Because every cabinet ministry, every minister at all, requires a staff and an office and a system, wasting millions of dollars a year that you do not need. That you do not need. Shamfa Kujo's existence helps nobody. Daryl Smith's existence helps nobody. Maxi Coffey's existence helps nobody. Clarence Rambarat's existence helps nobody. Stuart Young's existence only helps people with illegal contracts in PTSC. It would appear, because he helps nobody. Their existence helps nobody. It is a waste of public funds. All of these ministers are jobs for the boys. That's nepotism. This is our truth. This is our reality. And you need to understand that the only way that changes is when you vote them out. When it is undone. When Mario Sabga Aboud said, we have power, we realized it wasn't money, it wasn't houses, it wasn't olive oil to drizzle. It was power to control government. Those two political parties, to manipulate and use them to benefit yourself. That's the power he's talking about. We must undo that entire power structure. It is time now. The only people who benefited from the power of government are the people of Trinidad and Tobago. And the Progressive Empowerment Party is committed to this. We are committed to this, and we are telling you, so tell them. Tell Kid Rowley, you want us to listen to you fix education, this is how. You want us to listen to you fix healthcare, this is how. You want us to listen to you end the drug trade, this is how. Take the $100 million, the $30 million, the 30,000 guns, how much ever it is that you know, the stock check. Take it off the streets, this is how. Fix the commissioner of police. Make sure we have a proper functioning police service. This is how the Progressive Empowerment Party tells you how. You go and tell them that we know now. Go and tell Kamala. Don't come and give us bullshit. You were in office. Why did you do any of these things? Why did you build the Couva Hospital instead of building 20,000 houses for people, poor people in this country? Kamala and Keith Rowley, between them, PNM and UNC, Taruba and Couva Hospital, 40,000 houses. Just those two things. Just those two things. This country needs to wake up to all of the reality. Take off the blinders. Look and see what has been done in your name. What is being done in your name now. Sanitized by high-sounding offices and positions to fool people. None of it is real. All of it is bullshit. And we have to start over. We have to restart Trinidad and Tobago. We need to go back to the Constitutional Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, and we need to ask. We need a House of Representatives because we agree, 41 members of the House. Do we need a local government? No. We empowering the constituencies? Repeal that. Do we need a Senate? No. The House, the members of Parliament will not be ministers. We need them to be members of Parliament representing the people. Repeal the Senate. Do we need a president? No. We have a prime minister. We don't need anybody as a rubber stamp. Repeal that. That is where you go. The judiciary, how does it function? What do we want it to do? Do we need a magistrate's court and a high court? How do we want this thing to work? What do we want done with our country? How do we want the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service to be construed? How do we want it to be constructed? How do we want it to be functioning? How do we want to deal with the administration of justice and the enforcement of law in our country? These are the questions that you have to ask. These are the issues that you have to address. And this is where we need to go as a people. Because everything else, check it out. Check out what went on today with the SEA. Go and find out how many children celebrating tonight and how many children also ran. And tell me how 55 years now, this is the best that we could do. Tell me. PEPTrinbago@gmail.com. If you have not yet joined, send your email. This Saturday at noon, 19 Stanmore Avenue, we're meeting. Come out in your thousands. Come out and register. Meet the team. Meet the executive. Get yourself involved. To the people who are asking from all the communities in Trinidad and Tobago, we want the PEP to come to us. We need your help. Go and get the community center or anybody who have a space and a place that we can have a cottage meeting or pep rally. Organize. We will come. We will come down. We want to come and talk to everybody. We're on tour. We call it the Empower the People tour. So we want to come to your constituency. So, to all of you here tonight, sorry that the show went on so long. We had to deal with some of these issues. More of it we will follow up with tomorrow. And we're going to keep our eyes on a lot of these key issues that we discussed. But we're not going to get distracted. Our eyes on the prize, which is to take the people to government and rescue this nation. Yes? So make sure that you join the party and that you register to vote. You see all this split vote nonsense. All this nonsense, they run out. Last gasp of 2 dying animals. PNM and UNC, you need them in your rearview mirror. It is time to move on. It is time to move forward. Tell your mother, your father, your brother, your sister, and anybody who defending them, ask them to tell you why. Yes? Thank you for being here with me tonight. See you tomorrow night at 8 o'clock. Stay safe, Trinidad and Tobago.